Okay, this is Egan. I'm going to be talking about Past Cuisine A7 and the changes in the next version. I'm not actually going to be naming the next version A8. I'm going to be naming it A14 because A1 of Past Cuisine started on what would have been A7 of Player Destruction Cuisine. And people were saying, oh, well, the map hasn't changed at all since A1. Well, that's not technically true. The map changed a lot since A1. It's just instead of A7, we're kind of on A13 instead. So I guess that was confusing some people. So in the next version, I've labeled it A14 just to get rid of that. Big problems were the sightline from here all the way to that door. It's kind of hard to see that there is a door here, but there is a door here. So that sniper sightline all the way up into there. And then also, even though this route exists from this place to this place, and there is even like a secondary kind of route that leads up to here, people still weren't really using the upper route to exit their base that much. Like, they were complaining that it was really hard to push out, but then they'd never use the upper route to push out. They would always push through the choke that the enemy team was pushing through. So I'm gonna try to, and I've already made the next version. I've buffed this upper route a little bit to, actually, it's pretty much all the changes to the geometry in the next version are to this upper route, just to buff it for defenders. Defenders and also people who are attacking through mid, because I should say that in most of the testing I've done on this map, I've been playtesting as like a soldier or a demo man, and I haven't really been playtesting what it feels like to be a pyro or a heavy. So I did that in the next version, but I played it around on my own just a little bit, and I noticed that it was scary trying to approach the enemy base because there's always a lingering sensation of a sniper being in that little alcove right there. Like, you don't want to push past this building because the sniper's going to be there. You don't really want to push into him through here because he's got a clear line of sight on you. So I've changed it so that there's a wall right here, just a small wall, just so it nerfs him a lot. You'll see what I mean when you see it, the actual geometry of it. So people were also getting annoyed by the long spawn times. You know, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with that because, like, it works so well, so I like that it works so well, but people do seem to have a hate for long spawn times, which I think it might just be, like, misdirected hate. You know, it might be that maybe the teams are imbalanced. I don't know if the teams are actually imbalanced, but, like, I think they might have just been finding, like, a scapegoat to put their anger into, you know, like, because long respawn times, like 20-second respawn times, like, that happens in every map, like, except for like King of the Hill. I guess maybe in symmetrical game modes, that's what they're talking about, is it feels weird to have long respawn times in symmetrical game mode. Sorry, I just read Wilson's feedback. It is incredibly tough to push out of your base once you're boxed in. See, that's the thing, is like, if you know where to go, it's not hard. But so that's what I've fixed. Oh, and I have nerfed the respawn times, though, is what I'm saying. So it used to be 6 and 12, so 6 for attackers, 12 for defenders, and now it's 6 and 10.5. So 6 for, I think my phone just rang, or beeped, buzzed. 6 for attackers and 10.5 for defenders. So it goes between the minimum and then the maximum. So that's minimum is 10.5 to maximum 21, so double. So let me just go over that again. A7 long spawn times are annoying. Sniper sightline to the spawn door hard to push out. Map feels a bit stale. No changes in a while to geo or anything since A1. Right. So let's go to. I think it's just A14, and then there's one here, and then it's US. There we go. Okay, so let's just go to see what A14 looks like. So I've changed the lighting on A14 because I just got sick of the old one. So I've also added some details, but I made it so it's granary skybox, granary brightness, or granary brightness color, but increased brightness anyway, just because I like it bright. And then also the ambient, instead of doing granary ambient, it's upward ambient, but then with a lighter tone on it anyway, so it's brighter than upward. yeah, so I've added some details just because I wanted to see some details over in those sections, but that's like the only kind of instance of those details. You can see here I've added this wall here, which is on the side of a ramp, so that leads up from the capture point now. So number one, it blocks the sniper sight line to the spawn door, but then also it does make it a lot more obvious that that is like a path in your peripheral of how to get up to that top route, you know? I've also noticed in this playtest specifically that people were coming out of here and then using the new route to go down and attack the capture point, and you might be thinking, oh, well, that kind of is overpowered. Well, I was thinking that, but not really, because they could have just done that anyway all the time. Anyway, it just brings people more together and it makes it more obvious where to go. You can see in this playtest we had at this, it was 1 a.m. so it was 5v6 and then people just slowly left, but I don't have much time, but I want to talk about it. Oh, here's that new sniper barricade. So here's what I mean, you know, like if I was attacking over there as like a heavy, now it blocks off most of the sniper sight line, right? So like now he has to be split. He's either going to be wanting to go low so he gets more vantage point over like, you know, mid, or he wants to go up right in here, but then his back's right against the wall, so like he's going to be prone to splash damage. So that's more scary for him. Like, does he want to stand right here where he can just get surprised by whatever comes around the corner, or does he want to go low, get more vantage point, but then, you know, if he's going low, then you're going to see him more quickly, you know, and then you just get better options because, you know, if he's going low, then you can go hide and can counter him around this wall better. I've also changed this ramp. It used to be straight across this amount all the way from here to here and then down, and it matched this other ramp here. And the reason I've changed it, and you might be thinking it's pretty minor, I was looking in the last test and the sentry gun placement of right here was really powerful because it covered like all routes that players could use, and it still does cover all routes, but now because the ramp has been lowered here, it can be edged by soldiers standing here, you know, edged to the, like if I was standing here, I wish I could just show you that. Anyway, you can edge the sentry gun by shooting down at the ground there a lot easier, and you know, or just from around the corner, and you got the medium health back here, and it's easier to get up to here, and respawn times are lower for the defenders. Oh, and also, I don't know if we'll get to hear it, but there's actually a sound that gets played. I guess we wouldn't hear it. Let's just go to map Past Cuisine A14, because I've added a new sound to when respawn times get changed, and it just it feels a lot better, a lot more natural. So I'd like to do another playtest of A14 now. Let me just mute things for the time being. I'd like to do another playtest of A14 with a larger amount of players, at least like 7v7 or 8v8. But yeah, let's just wait. Oh, waiting for players. It was on. Okay, so I'll just show you this, and then I'll probably end the video because I don't want it to be too long to watch or rewatch. But yeah, I mean, generally it feels a lot better than it used to, and the details, I would describe the feeling as like, I like the balance of the map so much now that seeing details start to appear in the map really feels good. It feels like it's becoming more complete in my head. Anyway, so you pick this up, and if it goes inward towards your base, you can see I've added the replay sounds. Oh, I've also changed the trigger location. It used to be like around here, and I've moved it specifically onto this barricade location just so it's less arbitrary. Because while this might have been for balance, it was very arbitrary. That might get a bit annoying, but I mean, it's important information. and it doesn't really happen that often. If it does seem, I mean, so that's another thing is like, oh, and that's another thing too, is that replay sound only plays for your team when the ball is approaching your team. So it doesn't happen when you're attacking the enemy team area. But I was gonna say, even in Watergate, when I made Watergate, I was thinking, you know, it's probably possible for someone to like get out of bounds, but no one's actually gonna get out of bounds. And then they got out of bounds like the first day of release. So thinking that, oh, no one's probably gonna do this. Oh wait, wrong side. No one's probably gonna do this. But you can kind of guarantee that someone's gonna do it and make a video about it on YouTube like the next day. So maybe I should add some sort of like thing for that. Anyway, that's it. That's A14. I'll do an update video, maybe even like a gameplay video, like an actual just gameplay recording of A14. Because I think the map is kind of nearing. It's nearing a decent level of completion. You know what I mean? And it's looking kind of cool. And I like the details over here. It feels pretty good. I don't know if I'm still gonna detail it as cuisine. But
mission begins in 10 seconds.
Anyway, that's what's up. See you guys. Thanks for watching.